All right, my beloved Madridistas, welcome back to Madrid. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, I just got home from the match, and I want to give you guys my initial thoughts. And tomorrow I can do a sort of more detailed analysis. But let me just give you my preliminary sort of more emotional reaction. Look, I thought in terms of the lineup, Huijsen turns out didn't make it. He hadn't trained the day prior, so Asensio came out in his stead. Xavi decided on a 4-3-3 with Camavinga in the middle of the pitch with Tchouaméni and Jude. So lots of muscle in the middle of the pitch at the expense of Arda Güler, and then playing with three forwards with Gonzalo playing as a number 9, Rodrigo on the right, Vini on the left. Nothing, I mean, it was a little bit surprising, but I mean, I can't say terribly shocking. I think the absence of Arda is maybe the only sort of surprise, but I can see what Xavi was trying to do. Okay, in terms of the match itself, look, the first 20 minutes I thought were really good. And one of the things I've been complaining about all season long is the lack of intensity, just the lack of intensity in our play. We have this kind of slow complacency about us. That wasn't the case in the first 20 minutes. He had Jude playing in the number 10 position, just behind the forwards. He was doing a very good job in the first 20 minutes, especially linking up with Vini. Vini was very, very active on the left. In the early minutes of the match, Vini was, really creating quite a bit of trouble. There was a very clear penalty that, of course, didn't get called. It took the TV about 10 minutes to even show the replay. We have screens in the stadium, so while we're watching it, you can actually see what the TV cameras are doing as well. And I don't know, it took them forever to find the right angles to hide the penalty, but it was still a blatantly obvious penalty. Like I say, the first 20 minutes, there was very quick ball circulation. There was a lot of movement. One thing that I noticed very distinctly is that the distance between the lines was much narrower. We were playing much more compact football. Every player that received the ball had a ton of support short. Because our lines were very compact, the distance between your last defender and your striker, that has to be narrow. If it's 30 meters, you're playing compact football. If it's 70, you're doing something wrong. And every player will be playing in isolation. So we were playing very compact football in those first few minutes, very quick ball rotation, good movement off the ball, very aggressive. The second we lost the ball, just everybody seemed to swarm around whatever Betis player had the ball. So the first 20 minutes, I thought, started very, very well. And then, of course, the first goal came, Gonzalo, in the 20th minute. This was a professional header. We need to talk about Gonzalo because I think that this kid is just phenomenal. I mean, the 3 goals today were absolutely top shelf number 9 goals. These are top shelf goals. The weight of the header, going against the grain, the movement of the keeper to send it to the second post was perfect. The second goal, which was stopping it with his chest and an absolutely perfect volley, incredible. And the third one was a flick with his back heel. This player had a tremendous night, and I filmed the standing ovation that he received because it was well deserved. Okay, after the first goal. By the way, there were a lot of very beautiful technical gestures on the part of individual players. There were moments where you would see glimpses of really beautiful technique. That's something that I particularly enjoy. Now, after the goal, in the first 20 minutes, Betis were only threatening from distance. They looked really, pretty soft. But after the goal, our intensity level kind of declined a little bit. And this is something I have been complaining about during the course of the season. We sort of lose a little bit of steam once we score a goal, almost as if everything is okay, and of course it certainly isn't okay. I thought the refs were awful as always. Vini gets fouled every time he touches the ball, but it's never called, absolutely never called. Vini is the one player you can do anything you want to in La Liga, and nothing will ever happen to you. Like I say, after the goal, the sort of intensity level declined a little bit, and it just kind of didn't feel the same. In the second half, Vini started again on the left, very active. He wasn't quite as active as he was in the first half. We had our first scare in the 49th minute with Betis, coming very close to scoring. And then in the 50th minute, just the absolute golazo from Gonzalo, where he sort of stops it with his chest, and as the ball drops, just a perfect volley. These type of things are really hard to execute, but it was an absolutely perfect goal. Okay, again, our intensity level wasn't quite the same, but we were playing more comfortably simply because of the lead. And then in the 56th minute, we had the goal by Asensio, which was just a very, very good. It was a good header. that just kind of fell. There were some players in front of him, I think, that blocked his view, but he managed to put his head in exactly the right place. So that goal went in. Now, in the 61st minute, Betis hit the post, and it looked like things could start to get a little bit scary. I think in my notes, I mentioned that I thought Carreras was quite good today. I thought Jude was quite good, especially in the first half, but Jude played very well in that number 10 position. Courtois there was a phenomenal pass with Courtois with his hand in the 63rd minute to a run by Rodrigo that was just absolutely amazing. Then in the 65th minute, we had the goal from Betis, which was just really lax defending, because there was just one Betis player cutting through two defenders, and there's just absolutely no excuse for that. That was I think just a lack of concentration, because the Betis forward just literally split the two defenders and got to the ball. Totally unacceptable from a defensive standpoint. Now, at this point, after the Betis goal, you did start to hear some rumbles in the Bernabeu. You started to get some whistles. We started to play almost keep away, like we were just trying to burn the clock out. And that is something that the Bernabeu was not happy about at all. I mean, you were starting to get whistles, because when you start to play defensively and you're just trying to waste time, you're going to lose the ball. If you're just playing keep away, inevitably you're going to lose the ball. If you're not pushing forward and you're not running into space and players aren't making runs, if you're just passing it from foot to foot, from a stationary player to another stationary player because you're trying to kill the clock, you're going to lose the ball, okay? And that's what started to happen. And like I say, the crowd in the Bernabeu was getting a little bit testy. So the last two goals were sort of absolutely mission critical. We had the changes in the 72nd minute. Tchouaméni had an open header. In the 75th minute, Betis hit the crossbar, and at this point we were getting, pretty nervous. We had a bunch of changes in the 76th minute. Rodrigo and Vini came off. Arda and Mastantuono came in. But we were, again, playing kind of very lackadaisical football. And then we didn't really relax until the third goal by Gonzalo, which was just a beautiful flick with his heel. He's a very intuitive player. Gonzalo's a very good team player. If you notice Gonzalo's movement off the ball and the way that he participates in play, the way that he occupies space, and how he moves from one zone to the other to always provide support. He's an extremely aware team player. He plays very well for the collective. He understands his role really, really well. And he's a natural number 9, and he's exactly in the right place at the right time. In the 84th minute, Carreras had a wonderful play on the left that was worth mentioning. And we had more changes. Fran and Mendy came in, etc. For Gonzalo and Asensio. Gonzalo got a massive standing ovation. And then in the last minute, we had the goal by Fran. But look, this was one of the few matches all year where we've been able to sort of enjoy some spells of decent football. And I would say that there were... the first 20, 25 minutes, I would say, were very good. And then there were patches in the second half that were okay. Even in the last few minutes, I think we were kind of pushing forward. But there was a window of about 15 to 20 minutes that I was starting to see kind of our bad habits resurface again. Complacency, slowness. Sometimes we think the match is all taken care of, so we let our guard down. This is something we've been doing all year, and I think it's very dangerous. But we finished on a high note because, those goals at the very end, I think, did a lot to sort of lift our spirits. I think that in terms of morale, this will be very important going into the Super Cup against Atlético de Madrid. We needed a match like this to kind of just release the pressure and to start to feel some positivity. Again, I don't think that this was an exceptional match by any stretch of the imagination. I think that we played well in spurts, in certain segments, but it wasn't a comprehensive performance, I don't think. It was, of course, very encouraging to see that we were able to finalize our plays in the final third and to be much more efficient in front of goal. And I've been complaining about this all season long, but we were much more effective in front of goal. And we have to talk about, tomorrow when I give you guys my sort of calmer, more detailed analysis, we'll talk about Gonzalo a bit more. But this kid looks really damn good. He looks really damn good. He looks like a very serious number 9. He has the instincts, the reflexes of a number 9. Like I say, his participation in collective play is excellent. His awareness in terms of where he needs to be and where he needs to help oxygenate the ball when he sees one of his, a teammate that is sort of struggling getting pressed. He knows how to move in and help release some of the pressure. He did a lot of backtracking, and he scored 3 amazing goals. We need to have a conversation about Gonzalo, because maybe we should be playing Gonzalo as a number 9, and maybe we should let Kylian and Vinny kill themselves to see who plays the left wing. I mean, maybe that's the kind of survival of the fittest mentality that we need. But I do know that Gonzalo, it looks like an incredible resource, and it's just not something that we should leave on the bench, because, I mean, he showed us today, and this is a player that doesn't get a lot of consistent minutes, and he comes out and does what he did today. I thought this was overall, I would say, a pretty good performance, a bit patchy at times. A bit patchy at times, and maybe not thoroughly convincing, but it was certainly a move in the right direction. We did see spells of good football, of intensity. So there were, I think, a few things about this match that I think are positive and positive takeaways, especially going into the Super Cup. Okay, you guys, I'm going to leave it there. This is just my first reaction, because we just got home. We're going to make dinner and probably watch it again and analyze it more carefully. So I'll give you guys a more detailed kind of analysis tomorrow, but I just wanted to give you guys my initial thoughts. Fantastic evening in the Bernabeu this evening. Great atmosphere. It was really fun. Okay, thanks for joining me as always. I love you guys, and as always and forever, a la Madrid.